pumping it against Carter McRae, and this one is underway. Iowa State wearing their home white uniforms with cardinal numbers trimmed in gold. And for West Virginia, wearing their away dark uniforms with gold numbers. Here's Beatty on the wing, looking to bring it in and to find an entry. It'll be interesting to see how teams, in particular West Virginia today, is going to guard Audie Crooks.
Well, the job was already very challenging and very complex because of the different game plans that opposing teams are throwing at her, but it's even more challenging when you don't have Addie Brown and Ariana Jackson, two of your best post-entry passers, out of the lineup to help you solve that problem.
West Virginia with their starting five. This is the 8th game. They've all started together with Harrison, McRae, Wheeler, Shaw, and Cook. And this shot by Wheeler is off the mark, as each team has had a crack at the basket.
Well, for basketball fans, who really appreciate the cat and mouse and the chess match of a college basketball game or of the game of basketball in general, this will be really fun to see what these two long tenured coaches who have won a lot of games, what's the game plans that both of these two coaching staffs drew up, and can their teams execute on it?
Crooks with the defense on McRae as we remain scoreless. Beatty, and here's Williams cashing in from the top.
If you can knock down shots, it sure solves a lot of your problems. Iowa State not shooting as well in the early part of the Big 12 season as they have in the non-conference portion of the season.
This is going to be off Cook's foot. Iowa State will get it back as Beatty applied the defensive pressure. Iowa State coming in to the contest second in the Big 12, averaging about 88 points per game, and their last two losses held to 70 and 63. Here's Audie with the entry pass from Williams. Can't get it, but will go to the line as she was fending her way through two defenders there.
And Jada Williams just puts that ball right on the money where only Audie Crooks can go up and catch. I mean, that is a very narrow window to slide that ball through, and she just thread that needle perfectly.
Audie leading the Big 12 in scoring and near the top in the nation. Gets the first free throw to fall as she's shooting right at 67%. And gets both to fall as Iowa State takes an early 5-0 lead on the Mountaineers. So Harrison will feed it to McRae. McRae gets the N1 as she drew contact in the air. Carter McRae, the 6'1" junior out of Oberlin, Ohio, transferred in from Wisconsin, showing her prowess on the block here.
And Audie Crooks in pretty good defensive position, does a good job of sliding her foot, but it's that upper body contact. Nice job by McRae going up strong and with the finish.
And the free throw is knocked down by McRae. This is the 28th meeting all time between the two. Most of these contests happening in Big 12 conference play. Mountaineers lead the overall series at 15-12 as Hare is caught up in the trap. Now here's Beatty. Iowa State will play it around the perimeter. It's knocked out, 15 on the shot clock. The ball will stay with Iowa State. So here's Mark Kellogg in his 3rd season with West Virginia. And anywhere he has been, he's just won.
Never had a losing season. What a statistic. He's done it at a lot of places, Division I, Division II, won a lot of games. But I think that bullet at the bottom is amazing. Cyclones showing some zone defense here. You got to protect your big scorer in Audie Crooks.
Beatty with the defense as she was fronting Wheeler that time, gets the steal. Williams surveying. The lob into Crooks, who will finish.
Already we're seeing a lot more movement away from the basketball for Iowa State, having to change things up on the offensive end, largely because of Addie Brown being out of the lineup. She's such a crucial piece.
Harrison with the give and go. And Williams with the rebound for Iowa State. It's been interesting to see how teams in the Big 12 have defended the blocks, for Iowa State in particular. Crooks. Here's a three by Harris. Can't get the shot to fall. And back on this end, Sydney Shaw to Harrison. That's a good-looking stroke out of Jordan Harrison.
I think Gia Cook going to be called for a hold against Jada Williams here in that backcourt. This West Virginia team, not super deep. They played 8 at home against Texas Tech.
And for Iowa State head coach Bill Fennelly, his 31st season overall. Look at that, career wins 814. And he's been through a lot in his tenure as Beatty knocks down that jumper. He's seen lineups get plagued by injuries, healthy throughout the entire season, and trying to coach his team through the latest duress.
And I think every coaching staff, if you've done it as long as these two have, you've had seasons or spurts in your seasons where on the fly you have to change things up because of injuries or who knows what. So they're pretty used to having to assess mid-season and develop new game plans, and you maybe have one day of prep.
Beatty can't get the shot to fall. Iowa State with Elisa Williams out on the floor. They go big, but West Virginia says, I don't care. Kiara Wheeler able to get the layup there.
So as I was mentioning, West Virginia played 8 against Texas Tech, have typically played around 9 or 10. Very good defensive team.
Crooks got the entry pass from Beatty that time with the assist. And Audie is starting to get going. She's got 6. Now McCray trying to work the baseline. The bounce pass cutting in. Shaw with the N1.
Oh, great movement without the basketball.
And that'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. West Virginia with an opportunity to tie it up when we come back, as the Mountaineers and Cyclones battling it out as you're watching Big 12 basketball here on ESPN+. Virginia just 4-8 in games played here in Ames, as the home team has won the last 5 contests between the two. Well, we've had decisions made, players out on the floor. Let's get an update on the Iowa State huddle with Shannon Earhart.
Well, BJ, it's kind of odd to see Addie Brown and AJ standing behind the bench versus sitting on the bench in the huddle. It was very calm words from Fennelly. You know, we talked to him earlier this week, and I asked him if his message has changed at this point in the season. He said the biggest thing for us is to just control the controllables, do what we can. He's not making any excuses for being hurt. He just wants them to show everybody that they know how to play.
Thanks, Shannon. Audie Crooks out of the game. Iowa State with a much different lineup out on the floor. Reagan Wilson is in. Lily Taulale in for the first time as well. They're joined by the 2 Williams, Jada and Elisa, and also with Sydney Harris. Now, going to the bench, Sydney Woodley is into the contest for the first time for West Virginia. 5 on the shot clock. The Mountaineers need to go. Here's Shaw trying to work against Wilson. Forces up the shot. That hit all backboard. It will be a shot clock violation as the Cyclones clamp down defensively.
Nice job over there by Reagan Wilson in front of her own bench, applying that pressure defense, very aware of the shot clock winding down.
Look at the pressure in the backcourt. That's deflected out. Last touch by West Virginia. Audie Crooks back into the game. And as Big 12 teams will tell you, West Virginia notorious with some full court pressure. This one comes in to Wilson. Now finds Williams. Iowa State with numbers. Harris. As the Cyclones settle in into the half court. Crooks back out to Harris for 3. Got it!
Beautiful kick out pass there by Audie Crooks. She realizes she has good shooters around her, and I think she also realizes the more they can hit from the outside, the more that will help open things up for her.
Here's Wheeler working in, gets the N1 as she took it in on Williams. And Elisa Williams will pick up her first.
Both these teams shooting the basketball well. Iowa State 5 of their last 7. West Virginia 3 for 3, including a couple of and ones. See the strength of these Mountaineers players being able to go up with the contact and able to finish.
And West Virginia from the line early on, just one of their first 3, but both teams able to get to the line. We've seen 5 free throw shots so far, and we see another whistle as Jordan Harrison is going to be called for the foul here. Reese Beatty will come back out onto the floor. Reagan Wilson will check out. Harris will go into Beatty. Williams for 3. Left it long, and the rebound comes down to Wheeler. Here come the Mountaineers. Harrison, here's Shaw for 3. Can't get the roll. Crooks with the board. Iowa State looks to jet out of there. Here's Williams. Will attack and get a deuce.
Good to see Iowa State attacking a post player who's not named Audie Crooks. Elisa Williams, really nice job of hustling down the floor. Audie the trailer in that situation because she had tracked down the rebound.
Cutting in, here's Harrison amongst the trees, and she's able to get her second bucket of the game. She's got 5. Williams working on contact up the floor, and a foul will be called on Woodley. That'll be her first for the senior out of Menifee, California. And Jordan Thomas will now check in for West Virginia. Iowa State also to their bench. Mackenzie Hare is in. Here's Williams in the paint. The kick out. Hare for 3. You bet.
It's interesting to watch this, BJ, compared to maybe a week or 2 ago when Iowa State was at full strength. On the offensive end, moving so well without the basketball, so crisp. Honestly, it's hard to tell that they have completely revamped their offensive game plan.
Here, Wheeler just picked up the foul.
Kinsey Hare with a couple of nice plays, both on the offensive end there. You can see her knocking down that triple from the corner, and on the defensive end, she draws the foul.
And that'll be her second, so she's going to sit for head coach Mark Kellogg. Here's Beatty trying to get it into the high post. The ball knocked around. It's on the floor. As we see a foul, this is going to be on Woodley. Called for the shove. As the two, Beatty and Woodley, were jostling for that ball. So free throws here coming up now for Iowa State.
Ooh, and Beatty gets her leg landed on there. I think she's okay, but ew, that didn't look good on film.
5-point advantage here for Iowa State. They've hit 4 of their last 5 from the field. As Beatty will look for her first points of the, or second point of the contest. She has now 3 as she hit a field goal earlier.
A couple of assists for the freshman.
And knocks them both down. Iowa State to their largest lead here now at 7. As Reagan Wilson will now check back into the game.
Reagan Wilson, Reese Beatty essentially spelling each other. These are important minutes for Reagan Wilson. She is a good communicator, very smart, does a good job of adhering to the game plan.
Here's Riley Makalowski into the game for the first time for West Virginia. Looking to drive Harrison along the baseline. Now to Shaw. Has trouble holding on to it. It's a scrum for the ball. It'll be tied up. Possession arrow will keep it with the Mountaineers.
And I think it was Kinsey Hare who did a really nice job getting that deflection. That's a minor detail. Arms out, fingers spread. You might get a tip of a basketball, and that enables your teammate then to pick off the pass.
Lisa Williams back into the game for Iowa State. That bench has been busy for Iowa State. Shot clock winding down. Here's Harrison. The floater gets it to go off the glass for 2. What a shot by Jordan Harrison. She now has 7. Five-point game. And Audie Crooks is going to pick up the foul. That's her second as she was trying to clear out for position. And so Lily Taulale will be back into the game. So a couple of players in foul trouble here for each team. Kara Wheeler with 2 sitting on the bench for West Virginia. Now Audie Crooks on the bench for Iowa State. Harrison now to the corner. Shaw trying to work against that zone. Looking to drive in. The jumper, Makaluski, able to knock down the 3. The transfer from Butler in her freshman season actually led the Big East in 3-point shooting. What a pickup for West Virginia.
Well, this Iowa State team is going to find out real quickly how strong their depth is, having 2 starters out, having a National Player of the Year candidate sitting on the bench in foul trouble.
Taulale couldn't handle that pass. Iowa State was looking for a call. Now they go inside. Thomas called for the travel. So Reese Beatty will come back out on the floor. Also back into the game is Audie Crooks with 2 fouls here with 56 seconds to play in the opening quarter. As it's a 2-point game as West Virginia fell down by as many as 7. It's able to go on a little bit of a run here, making 3 of their last shots from the field. Here's Beatty. Driving, will have it turned over. West Virginia up into the front court with Harrison. The crossover in the paint finds her teammate, and how about that? A finish by Jordan Thomas to tie this one up at 21.
Well, for West Virginia, their offense starts with their defense. That's exactly what you saw. You pick off the pass, you go the other way in a hurry.
And Jada Williams able to go coast to coast and get the deuce. She was calling for an and 1, didn't get it, as the shot clock is now off. What a game. What an opening quarter here with West Virginia and Iowa State.
And West Virginia, a team that relies on their defense, they don't often score a lot of points. Iowa State down 2 starters, and they're on like an 85, 90-point pace.
Harrison, the 3. Got it at the horn. What a shot by Jordan Harrison as she finishes the first half in double figures with 10. And West Virginia has a 1-point lead through the first 10 minutes of play. You're watching Big 12 basketball here on ESPN+.
Hey, no worries at all, Molly. I wanted to just elaborate on what you said about Harrison. After she made that buzzer beater, Mark Kellogg was smiling ear to ear, kind of shaking his head in disbelief. He actually said that he thinks the world of Harrison and that she really is the player that makes us go. He shared that she's had a really up and down senior year, but she's starting to round into form, and I think we're starting to see that here today.
Thanks a lot, Shannon. Each team shooting above 60% in that opening quarter, as West Virginia will pick up a foul on that rebound as Taulale gets the start to begin the second quarter play. Also into the game for the first time for Iowa State is Evangalia Polk getting some action here as West Virginia will quickly go to their bench. Carter McCray back out on the floor as she is joined by Shaw, Harrison, Johnson, and Thomas. Beatty will lob it out to Polk. And the lob into Crooks and gets the deuce. Very tough to defend when Audie can receive that ball. And each team shooting the lights out. Crooks with 8 now on 3 of 3 shooting from the field. Makaluski almost lost it in traffic. Harrison, guarded by Hare, goes to the paint, the drive, and can't finish it is McCray, but the second time around, just padding the stats with the offensive putback.
And Audie Crooks really just not a lot she can do in that situation. She knows how crucial she is to her team on the offensive end, does not want to pick up a 3rd personal foul in this first half.
West Virginia outscoring Iowa State 16-10 in the paint. Here's McCray, got the good look, can't get the bucket. Could not get it through the defense of Audie Crooks.
And I won't be surprised if Coach Kellogg just goes right at Audie. He knows that she won't be able to play her best defense, and he wants to get her into even more foul trouble.
Audie with her first 3 as she knocks it down as teams want to avoid in the paint getting cooked by Crooks. Audie knocks down the triple.
First triple of the year for Audie. Big smile out of her. She's proud of herself.
Polk with the steal. Hilton really starting to wake up as Mackenzie Hare will drive in. That's deflected out, but the official right on top of it, Joshua Howell, says no, that's out on Iowa State. Let's take a look at this again.
3 fingers to the sky on that dribble.
Cyclones lead it by 2 here. Had a 7-point lead. West Virginia took the lead at the end of the quarter. Harrison left alone at the top. Can't get at the ball. Polk with the board. Iowa State again will look to push as Crooks is going to be pushed right away as she's trying to garner position in the paint. Carter McCray called for the foul. As this officiating crew with Julie Cromenhoek, Brian Garland, Joshua Howell trying to watch everything today as Beatty can't get the 3 to pull. And the rebound comes down to Gia Cook. Gia looking to work with it, drives in, floats one up. Out of control as Crooks will get the rebound. As Beatty will try to settle it into the half court to the high post to Crooks. Back to Beatty. She'll launch. Can't get it to fall. And rebound tipped out, last touch by Iowa State.
Vandalia Polk with an effort play there, trying to keep the basketball in bounds, unable to do so. Polk has not appeared in all of Iowa State's Big 12 conference games as opponents have gotten more challenging. Her minutes have gone down a little bit, but getting an opportunity to prove herself.
Here's McCray in the paint. The spin back to her right. Can't get at the ball. Crooks again with the defense. Williams ahead to Wilson for 3. Got it!
Cyclones on a 6-0 run, getting some contributions from some players off the bench. That's exactly what you have to do when you have starters out.
Audie with another board. It's her 7th on the day. Williams looking to work with it. Cyclones will reset here. Harris will give way to Williams with 12 on the shot clock. And a turnover by Iowa State. First quarter, that's really what plagued the Cyclones. It continues now. That's their 13th turnover here in the first half. As West Virginia and head coach Mark Kellogg will put Kiera Wheeler back out on the floor. She's playing with 2 fouls. Harrison. Now driving in, there's McCray. Carter able to get the basket. And a double dribble is going to be called against Iowa State. Again, there's the pressure by West Virginia.
Coach Finley talked to us yesterday in our prep call and said this West Virginia team will, I think in the past he would say, you know, the press is as soon as they get off the bus. I think yesterday he said they're already pressing us. He knew it would be a challenge for his squad.
Logan Johnson into the game too for the Mountaineers as Cook looks to bring it in, throws up the shot, can't get at the ball. Lisa Williams just checked back into the game for Iowa State. We'll set the lineups here in a moment as Wilson will survey. Iowa State on the floor with Beatty, Williams, Hare, Wilson, and Harris. As Beatty will drive in, tries to dish. That's going to be knocked around on the floor for the ball. Loose ball again. It ends up with West Virginia as they've got McCray, Cook, Harrison, Wheeler, and Johnson. Here's McCray.
Yeah, those are the kinds of passes, BJ, that might work against some non-conference opponents. They aren't going to work against West Virginia and their defensive pressure.
The lob into McCray, working on Harris, who will get the bucket. McCray with her right hand able to knock it down. And she's got 7. Cyclones lead it by 1. Wilson for three. Got it again. Reagan Wilson knocking down the triple.
Wow, was she ready for this opportunity or what, BJ? Love that fake pass. Gets the defense to shift just slightly. Opens up that shooting window.
Here's McCray at the high post. Cook from the wing. Can't get the answer, but McCray with a rebound. Can't get the putback. Second time around, not there. And Williams will try to clear it for Iowa State, and she does.
West Virginia's gone cold these last few minutes. 2 of their last 10 from the field.
In the half court, Iowa State looks to either hit the gas or back it off. This is one of those possessions. Shot clock winding down. Williams and company cannot get a good look at it. Harrison into the front court. The drive knocked out. Last touch by Iowa State. So West Virginia will have the possession. And that'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. The foot has been on. Audie back into the game with 2 fouls. Her and McCray in the contest. Both coaches making executive decisions. Normally they sit players in the first half if they get 2. McCray doing a lot of work on the inside, going to be called for steps here as West Virginia will turn it over. Each team has turned it over more than we're normally seeing on the season. West Virginia now with 7 turnovers, and for Iowa State sitting with 8. In the first half or first quarter, we saw a lot of free throws. We have yet to see a free throw attempt here in the second quarter, as that layup missed, as the rebound will come down to Jordan Thomas, and the steal now by Harris. Iowa State with some numbers. Harris for 3. Can't get that to fall, as Shaw will rip it down. Here's Cook. The reverse, can't get it to fall. Gets her own rebound. Here's McCray, will spot up and hit the 15-footer. Or I beg your pardon, Kara Wheeler knocking that shot down.
Iowa State doing a nice job defensively on Gia Cook. She's the leading scorer for this Mountaineers team coming into the season, and so far today has not scored. Averages about 16 points per contest. She was probably #1 on that scouting report for Iowa State.
Wheeler now with 10 in the game. Audie Crooks in double figures with 11 as she keeps that streak going, now at 83 straight games in double figures. As this ball, Williams tied up. Possession arrow will give it to West Virginia.
Jada just forcing the issue there a little bit. Cyclones with 4 turnovers in the last 4 minutes. As the game progresses, that's something to keep tabs on. I think generally ball handling is better when you're fresh. Those are the things that can deteriorate as a game plugs away, and a very athletic team like West Virginia can start to cause you fits, and that's when your details start to break down.
A personal foul going to be called on Williams. And Lisa Williams picking up her second. As we see our first free throws here of the second quarter, as Wheeler makes good on that. She now has 11. So Harrison and Wheeler getting the job done for West Virginia, both in double figures. Now Wheeler leading, or McCray, I beg your pardon, Wheeler leading the way with 12. Harrison with 10.
Good decision by Beatty there to pull that one out. You have numbers, of course you want to go, but don't force it. West Virginia will make you pay.
Tied up again, but not any longer, as Reagan Wilson knocks down her 3rd triple of the game.
Holy confidence out of Reagan Wilson. This is a kid who's averaging 16 minutes per game, or excuse me, 9 minutes per game. Averaging 3 points per game.
Here's Wheeler. Can't get the jumper. How about the rebound? Put back not there. Wheeler fighting for the rebound, and the reverse layup is good.
They are so good on the offensive glass. Relentless. That's the 8th offensive rebound.
Jordan Thomas really battling in there for West Virginia. Harris inside to Williams. Can't get the shot to fall. Harris on the block. Going to be tied up. Possession arrow will keep it with Iowa State as the Cyclones go back to their bench. Lily Taulale will come back in for Williams.
And I think Coach Finley may just choose to keep Audie Crooks on the bench for the remainder of the half. You're in a good position. Up 1 point, just 1.5 minutes to go.
And a foul now on the block. Going to be called against Jordan Thomas.
A third foul for Audie Crooks in this situation would do more harm than good for only 90 seconds of basketball.
Thomas will pick up her second. Now Carter McCray will come back in. Jada Williams will lob it out to Taulale. That ball deflected up. It'll belong to West Virginia. Shaw into the front court. Cook to McCray. Whew, tough bucket as West Virginia takes a 1 point lead.
Holy cow, she muscles that up.
McCray was 7. Nearing the minute mark to play here in the opening half. It's been nothing but entertainment. Williams gets her pocket pick. Harrison leading the charge into the paint. Now McCray, and West Virginia has their largest lead here at 3 at 40-37.
They can make the surest of dribblers like a Jada Williams get frustrated in a hurry.
They frustrate Beatty. Another turnover by Iowa State. A lot of possessions in a row in which Iowa State has turned the ball over. About a 6-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock as you see those turnovers abounded. Inside to McCray. Working on Taulale. And a 3-second violation going to be called against McCray as Taulale a little slow to get up. Now Audie Crooks will come back in with 8.5 to play here in the opening half.
Now you don't want a silly foul, maybe trying to track down an offensive rebound or to give yourself space.
And it looks like they were trying to get to the bench. Here's Crooks. Gets the shot as it's a 1 point game as West Virginia was trying to hack in the Big 12.
Turnovers have been a big problem for Iowa State. 12 giveaways, not unexpected against West Virginia, but let's see what Iowa State maybe has come up with to shore that up.
Well, it starts off with a turnover as Williams tried to feed it into Crooks. Out on the floor for the Mountaineers, McCray, Cook, Shaw, Harrison, and Wheeler. For Iowa State, Beatty, Williams, Harris, and Crooks. Shaw will dump it into McCray. Gets the and one again. McCray goes high and draws contact with the hands.
Sounds like they call it against Kenzie Hare. Excuse me, a little bit of a hesitation there. I wanted to see who the officials were going to signal to the scorer's table because Audie Crooks also right in the middle of it.
And Mackenzie Hare will pick up her first. The free throw not there. Audie Crooks with another rebound. She's got 8 on the afternoon. 3-point Mountaineer lead. Beatty, they all look to the post. Hare will just throw a 3. Can't get it to fall. And the rebound comes down to Harrison. Shaw into the front court. Tries to feed it in low to Wheeler. It's going to be tied up. Possession arrow will keep it with West Virginia.
Active hands by a couple of Cyclones to tip that pass away. Kenzie Hare missing that last 3-point attempt for Iowa State. I think Iowa State will have to knock down triples to stay with this West Virginia team.
And Cook knocks down a triple. Her first points of the game. Gia Cook into the scoring books.
She was 0 of 4 before that one.
And West Virginia with their largest lead here at 6 and another turnover. Out ahead, here's Cook to the rack, gets the deuce. A quick 5 off of the turnover. And West Virginia really starting to open it up now. They've got an 8-point advantage. See those points off of turnovers. 19 on the day and a near turnover again. Hare for 3. Can't get it as it's long, and the rebound down to Shaw. Iowa State has missed their first 3 shots. They've turned it over a few times. And now Harrison draws a foul out of Hare. That'll be her second.
Both coaches hanging on to their timeouts.
And now Reagan Wilson will come back out on the floor. A hot first half for her shooting with 9.
This has been such a closely contested game. We haven't had big scoring runs for the most part, or big margins where a coach would maybe want to call a timeout. West Virginia looking good out of the gates in this second half.
Harrison, an 83% free throw shooter. Coming off of that 22-point performance, she's now well into double figures with 12. And a 10-point lead for the Mountaineers. A 9-0 run to begin the second half. Here's Crooks. Tries to avoid the double team, and too hard of a pass. And another turnover here by Iowa State. And now a timeout going to be taken by the Cyclones. Overs in the game, and the opening 5 possessions, 3 turnovers, 2 missed 3-pointers by Iowa State. That scoring defense was really good.
Well, Iowa State scored 39 points in the first half. That is well above what West Virginia gives up in 20 minutes of action.
Iowa State tries to get it going offensively. Here's Harris on the attack, and she will draw contact and go to the line to shoot 2. Let's go to Shannon Earhart, who's standing by on more about that Mountaineer D.
Fenley warned us that West Virginia was going to make them feel as uncomfortable as they possibly could. He called the Mountaineers an ultra-aggressive team. Their identity is defense, and Mark Kellogg told us that's not just a West Virginia thing, it's a Mark Kellogg thing, and it has been for years. It seems like it really works. He's got a 78% winning percentage over 630 games at 5 different schools. And like you mentioned earlier, guys, he's never had a losing record. It is defense.
Yeah, he's carrying on the tradition from Mike all the way back to Mike Prairie. As West Virginia locking down on Iowa State. It's an 8-point game. So they try to come up with the answer here. The floater, can't get it. How about the rebound? Put back by McCray, not there, but will go to the line to shoot 2. Carter McCray.
West Virginia brings so much athleticism and toughness. I think this last offensive rebound is a good example of that. There is some contact. I don't think it's a foul that's between Audie and McCray. But it was probably a 50-50 ball. McCray goes up, she's strong, she rips that basketball away.
Just a 55% free throw shooter on the season. As McCray's second is not there, as Harris will get the rebound.
Nice box out by Sydney Harris.
Audie asking for the ball. Now the double comes in. Beatty to Harris, and a foul here on McCray.
Nice baseline cut to the basket by Sydney Harris. That's not typically her game. Really more of a spot-up shooter from beyond the arc. But against a West Virginia team who's so athletic on the defensive end, they want to take away your first and second option. So someone like Sydney Harris isn't going to get too many wide open looks from beyond the arc. They know that is her bread and butter. They're going to make her do some other things. Kudos to her for reading that defense, creating that passing window.
McCray just picked up her second. She'll check out. And coming back into the game for the first time in the late half is Jordan Thomas. And Harris, pretty automatic at the line, nearly automatic, 85% on the season. It's a 6-point game as this crowd tries to get back into it, get their team back into it. And a pivotal mid-January contest here at Hilton. Harrison trying to work on Williams. That shot clock winding down. The hard spin. And a travel going to be called on Harrison, who thought she had the possession off the dribble. As Iowa State forces back-to-back turnovers on the Mountaineers. They try to turn the tables. Williams inside to Crooks. Wilson's three. Left it long as it hit the side of the rim. And Mountaineers quickly, and a foul going to be called on Beatty. There's been a lot of that through midcourt. This time Beatty gets whistled for the foul. Mountaineers trying to play with some poise here. Wheeler backing in. Goes up, left it short. Crooks with another rebound, and a foul going to be called on West Virginia as Jordan Thomas will be whistled for the infraction.
Well, the crowd's certainly into it here at Hilton Coliseum. Iowa State getting down as many as 10.
And now a foul going to be called on Gia Cook. Going to be called for the hold, and that is going to be, I believe, the 5th team foul. No, it's just the 4th against West Virginia. Each team, West Virginia with 4 fouls, Iowa State also with 4 fouls. You see the foul totals for the game there. And here's a steal by Harrison. Can't get the shot to fall. Beatty after the block by Harris. Here's Williams. Now to Harris. That ball's tipped around and it belonged to West Virginia. Thomas had ended up with it. They go inside. Thomas working in on Crooks, and an offensive foul as Audie took one in the stomach. That's a
elbow or a shoulder to the gut. Whew.
As Thomas picks up her 3rd, she'll still sit. It's a player control foul. As I believe the officials are going to go to midcourt to maybe review this. With 5:45 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
The previous play is under review.
And we'll see what the conclusion is here. As when we come back, we'll have that for you. Iowa State, West Virginia. Mountaineers pretty hard, too, as well. So out on the floor for Iowa State, out of the Wilson and Crooks. And for West Virginia, it's Cook, Shaw, Harrison, Wheeler, and Riviere. Getting to see her first minutes of the game here is Riviere. A lot of players off of both teams' benches going a little deeper than what they normally do, as that one's going to be deflected out. Last touch by West Virginia. Iowa State will have 6 seconds on the shot clock. So the shot clock winding down. Hare to the corner. That's Beatty. Can't get it to fall. The rebound tracked down by Wilson. The putback is there. Reagan Wilson, the sophomore from Noblesville, Indiana, in double figures with 11.
Who had Reagan Wilson, the 2nd leading scorer to Audie Crooks, by just 2 points on their bingo card? Probably not too many folks.
Crooks able to find that ball. And Audie right now with 13 in the game. As you mentioned, yeah, Wilson. I don't think many people had that.
And the offensive rebound and putback? I mean, holy cow.
It's a 4-point game. Beatty going to be called for the shove on Cook. Player control foul. Each team now with 5 team fouls. As Iowa State goes back to their bench, Imagalia Polk checking in for the first time in the late half. Also Jada Williams back into the contest. Mountaineers back to work. Here's Harrison, the baseline jumper. Overshot the hoop. Crooks will get the rebound. Audie with a double-double. Williams trying to cross over. West Virginia takes the tough shot. Can't get it to fall. Williams going to be tied up. As she and Sydney Woodley were going for that ball. Possession arrow. Keeps it here with Iowa State with 20 on the shot clock. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, nice defense there by Woodley. Maybe a little bit of a force by Jada. Cyclones have been able to get some good shots in their last few possessions.
Here's Crooks at the high post, will give way to Williams. Gets the screen, the jump shot off the mark. And the rebound to Harrison. Polk will keep it alive now to Wilson. And officials' time here. Making sure everybody's okay as that floor, a lot of perspiration was laid out on it. Quickly mopped, we're ready to go. 26 on the shot clock. Williams has it taken away by Harrison, and Jordan had it deflected away. Last touch by Iowa State. Let's take a look at it here. No challenge from the Cyclone bench. Riviere working her way in, gets the layup as she took it from the top.
You know, the Paris native hasn't been in the game too long. She looked awfully comfortable there. She's a taller body for this Mountaineers team. On the defensive end, that helps them against Audie Crooks.
Polk along the baseline, the reverse layup, can't get it to fall. So the Mountaineers with that 6-point lead, nearing the 3-minute mark to play here in the third quarter. Rivera again. Over to Shaw. Shot clock winding down. They go to Wheeler. The jumper. Good. Oh. How about that for Kiara Wheeler? Knocking it down, and it's an 8-point Mountaineer lead. Iowa State trying to come up with the answer here on this end. They go to Crooks. Ball's deflected up. It's on the deck. And a foul as Jada Williams is grabbing her right ankle, and also Riviere down on the court. And Jada Williams very slow to get up. She's going to try to walk it off.
These players laying it all out there. There's no doubt about that.
And a foul was called on West Virginia's Sydney Woodley. So amongst that mess, Lisa Williams will go to the line as Jada Williams, you see in your screen, slowly walking off the court. Williams' free throw is good.
Lisa Williams is an exceptional free throw shooter.
And you think about that for Iowa State. I mean, the highlights coming into the game where, hey, we've got the big three as Reagan Wilson comes up with another offensive board with Audie Crooks, Addie Brown, Jada Williams, now 2 of the big 3. Addie not playing today, hurt. Here's Williams, gets the feed from Crooks, and now Williams will go back to the line as Iowa State going big with their lineup out on the floor.
Audie Crooks with an opportunity to show off her passing ability in this game. She had a couple kickouts to 3. One that looked like a no-look to me in that first half. You can tell she likes having the ball in her hands. So much defensive attention around her. I love the awareness. Rather than forcing it up against a couple of blue jerseys, she has the awareness and the ability. She has those soft hands to be able to dump it down to an open body.
Lisa Williams making this a 5-point game. Let's get an update right now on Jada Williams. Here's Shannon Earhart.
BJ, she just walked into the locker room with one of the trainers. She was sitting on the bench and shook off the trainer, said, no, I'm fine. About 10 seconds later, decided to get up, and I believe she's getting taped right now.
Thanks, Shannon, for that update. 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. You think about that big three for Iowa State. In the Big 12, they rank in 15 statistical categories amongst that trio. As a foul going to be called here on Iowa State, so West Virginia will go to the line to shoot two here. A foul on Reagan Wilson.
This West Virginia team just relentless. Cyclones out rebounding the Mountaineers by 1.
The free throw knocked down by Sydney Woodley, 82% on the season. In her second season in Morgantown after transferring from Long Beach State, can't get the next one to fall. Polk will clean it up for Iowa State. Beatty caught up in the double team. Now Harris on the wing will drive in. It's going to be grabbed by Wheeler, and I believe that'll be her third.
Sydney Harris with a heads-up play there. That shooter is flying at her. That's where you can see a little more of the skill that these players have, right? I mean, Sydney Harris, of course, her bread and butter is knocking down jumpers from the outside. But they all work on all the things.
Yeah.
And you can tell that versatility. Sure, she handled the basketball a lot as a high schooler and earlier in her career when she was more of a go-to scorer at her previous institution.
Riley McAlusky into the game as Harris hits both free throws, and we've got ourselves a 4-point contest where the defenses have really clamped down. It was 24-23 after the opening quarter. Here's Shaw for three. Can't get it to fall. Polk with the rebound. Out ahead to Harris, but too strong. As
good leadership there out of Audie Crooks. Goes over, talks to Polk. Hey, that's the right idea. Just, you made a great play. I understand what you're trying to do. Just calm down just a bit. You got it. Gives her a big smile.
McAlusky at the high post. Now to Harrison. Loses the ball. Polk up with it for Iowa State. Inside of a minute to play in the third quarter. West Virginia had built a 9-point lead. Iowa State whittling it down here towards the end of the third quarter, but the turnovers have really bothered Iowa State. That's turnover number 21.
Nine turnovers for Iowa State in this third quarter.
Here's Harrison for three. Got it! What a shot by Jordan Harrison. 3-second difference here between the shot and the game clock. Beatty trying to avoid the double team will find Polk. Here's Crooks. Lost it off the dribble. West Virginia back down here on this end. They're going to hold for one to end the third quarter here. The Mountaineers trying to win yet another Big 12 Conference road game. They've won 2 already this season. Here's Riviere. The spin back, the jumper, gets it to go at the horn. The second buzzer.
Home. Well, her parents do go to every single game. Her extended family is here. There's about 22 of them, you guys.
And what a game she's having. What a season she's having for the girl. Really putting it on the Cyclones here this afternoon. And defensively, that third quarter, a gem for West Virginia, holding Iowa State to just one made field goal as they take their largest lead now of the game at 11.
Too many empty possessions for Iowa State in that third quarter.
Here's Harris for three.
10 turnovers in the third.
Iowa State getting most of their points, most of their points from the free throw line, going 9 of 10. But West Virginia extending their lead. Riviere trying to back in on Crooks. She'll give way to Shaw. 10 on the shot clock. Shaw to the corner. Here's Harrison. Baseline runner, can't get it to fall. The rebound tipped out. Last touch by West Virginia.
You mentioned the free throw shooting for Iowa State, BJ. They're 13 of 14 at the line.
And Woodley gonna knock that ball out. Cyclones trying to battle a lot here. Of course, coming into the game, the injuries with a couple of key starters out, and Addie Brown and Ariana Jackson now trying to work their way through an 11-point deficit, as Beatty will draw contact by Jordan Harrison as she was bringing it up the floor. Harrison will pick up her second, but what an afternoon, too, for Harrison. 17 points.
Really nice use of that arm bar for Reese Beatty. Does a good job of not extending.
This ball loose. It was touched, or was it? And Brian Garland talking it over with Julie Cromenhoek. She wanted to know if that ball was touched by another player other than Jada Williams getting the ball in. And so Iowa State will have it. 16 on the shot clock. Harris open, cashes in for three.
Quick release. She did not have much of a window to get that one off. Cyclones needed that one in a major way. Can they continue and find some momentum?
Sydney Harris with a lot of minutes here today for Iowa State. Here's the three. The answer not there for West Virginia, but the rebound by Shaw. Makaluski will put it on the deck. Riviera at the high post. Looks to back in on Crooks. Goes one way, now kicks it out. Makaluski. Riviera wants that ball again. Will hoist. Can't hit it. Rebound deflected out. And a foul going to be called here on Iowa State. As Jada Williams, it's great to see her back out on the court for Iowa State. Called for the foul there.
West Virginia just relentless in pursuit of the basketball. If they can get a hand on it to tip it out to a teammate. That's what happened on that one. It wasn't a clean two-handed rebound. It was tap it out to a buddy.
Three by Shaw is good as Iowa State went zone and Shaw able to bust it. Into Crooks, and one.
Audie Crooks, not many touches in this second half. She's a perfect 6 of 6 for the game.
Not many touches, period, for the game as West Virginia has been able to limit Crooks. Audie 6 of 6 from the field now with 15 points. Woodley gets her and one down on this end.
Nice answer. Cyclones cut it to 8. You've got the crowd back into it.
And to the line with Sydney Woodley. Able to knock down the free throw and make this an 11-point game again. 7:30 to play. As Iowa State tries to go to Crooks, and it's going to be intercepted by Harrison.
Cyclones just cannot afford empty possessions.
The air will go inside to Wheeler. Kara get with another bucket. As West Virginia has really extended this game out, a 13-point difference. Wheeler with 20 in the contest.
Well, defensively, they just come at you and come at you and come at you. And at some point, when you're an offensive player and a ball handler, that fatigue probably starts to set in.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Beatty will launch, can't hit it, and the rebound to West Virginia. The defensive rebounds in favor of Iowa State. Mountaineers have just been able to get up more shots here today. 57-39 is the field goal attempts. Wheeler looked to work on Crooks, able to find the backdoor pass to Woodley. Riviera with the putback is there for West Virginia. And the lead now at 15, inside of 6 to play, as Iowa State will call a timeout as they bring it up into the front court. West Virginia defensively getting it done today, forcing 23 turnovers, and now on the offensive glass, able to push this lead up. Swing. How about this for the month of January? The Mountaineers playing 6 of their 9 games on the road. But February, oh, it's going to be sweet for the Mountaineers. A lot of home contests coming up. And Shannon, what do you have on the rest of the schedule here for West Virginia?
Well, Kellogg said travel has been a challenge for sure. Like you said, 6 of 9 games in January on the road. He actually called West Virginia a geographical outlier. But like, you know, we've mentioned before, they're 3-0 on the road. I wanted to know what's made them so successful playing away, and Kellogg told me the team just likes each other. He said, I don't have to force them to hang out, and that's a good thing, right? They built that bond in the summer, and if one player wants to do something, all 11 are going to do it too.
They're a fun group, you know, and Shannon had brought up the fact that there's a lot of new players here for West Virginia. In fact, 6 newcomers mixing in with the 5 returners from last year. And things have gone together really, really well. They have some big wins, non-conference wins. As Wheeler draws contact from Mackenzie Hare. And that'll be her 3rd. But let's not understate the fact today, though, West Virginia's defense really clamping down in the second half. And for the game, they've actually outshot Iowa State now by 20 and forcing Iowa State into 24 turnovers as Wheeler knocks down the free throw.
You cannot understate the relentless pursuit of the basketball for this West Virginia team. I mean, they just have the little details on the defensive end. They do it every time. And on the offensive end, you're cutting hard to the basketball, you're chasing and pursuing offensive rebounds. Those things are really hard to do when you get tired, but this is a West Virginia team that's very fit, they're very athletic, and they just grind and grind and grind. And it seems like in the second half of this game, it's worn on Iowa State a little bit.
Audie Crooks a perfect 7 of 7 from the floor with just 18. She's made the most of every opportunity she's gotten. I should ask you, what was and what is the recipe today for West Virginia keeping the touches away from Audie?
Well, almost every possession you've seen a couple of blue jerseys around her. And when Iowa State has been able to move the basketball around and then enter into the post, they've had a little bit more success. Now, they've certainly had some picture-perfect passes where there was a very narrow window, but that's a little bit of a high-risk, high-reward pass. Jada Williams has 8 assists. She's had some amazing passes, but also she's had some challenging passes. I mean, that's one that's between 3 people, and it gets there, but maybe half of the time it doesn't. If there's just one finger that gets a piece of it, that's tipped to a teammate and you're off to the races in the other direction.
Crooks will be going to the line. McCray, or excuse me, Wheeler going to be called for the foul.
We haven't seen many situations where Iowa State's been able to do the in, out, back in. Sometimes if you kick back out to a shooter and then you go back in because they've flown out at the shooter, you might perhaps have another opportunity or a better opportunity for more of a one-on-one look, but easy for me to say over here from the cheap seats.
Crooks now with 20. Audie 7 of 7 from the field, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, including took a 3 and made it 2 as well. Here's Riviere down low on the block. Now the kick out. Here's Harrison to Riviere as West Virginia able to get a basket back. Still a 15-point lead. Harris guarded on the perimeter tightly by Woodley. Polk will rise and fire and hit.
Second three-pointer of the season for Polk. Maybe that one will take the lid off the basket for a little bit.
Each possession matters down the stretch here now for Iowa State. Need to get stops, and Wheeler's been tough to stop. Here she is again, and hitting. That's from the top of the key. It's a 2.
She feels comfortable in the Midwest, just 3 hours from home.
Harris for 3. Gets it to 4. The lead now whittled down to 11.
Cyclones hanging around. Made their last 3 field goal attempts. Got to get stops on the defensive end. That's where it starts. And defensive rebounds.
Wheeler in traffic, going to be fouled. And that's going to be called on Polk. That'll be her first.
Maybe when she reached in there, got a piece of the hand, piece of the arm on the left side.
Team foul number 4 on Iowa State here in the fourth quarter. Here's a 3. Good from the wing. Sydney Shaw knocking it down. And a foul on the inbounds against West Virginia. And Iowa State, with the clock stop, will come down to the other end to shoot free throws.
West Virginia has just had answer after answer. Shaw with 5 points before making that triple. She's done a really nice job affecting the game. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a couple steals. But a crucial possession, they need a bucket. Why not me? This Mountaineers team shooting 52% from the field, 54% from beyond the arc. As a team on the season, shooting 34% from three-point land.
Here's Wheeler, gonna back in on the smaller Wilson. Can't get the bucket. Harris with the rebound. A stop for Iowa State, and a ball is tied up. Possession arrow will keep it with Iowa State. What hustle and determination there by Sydney Woodley to force the tie-up. Lead at 12 with 2:23 to play. Williams, the lob into Crooks. Defender was fronting her. Audie able to finish it.
Perfect pass.
Crooks with 22, a 10-point game. West Virginia, I think Mark Kellogg saying, patient, run the offense here. Each team into the bonus. Harrison. What a finisher.
And just turns that corner so fast. Aware of angles.
Wilson will get it into Crooks, the fade. Her first miss of the day as that rebound is tipped out. And now 90 seconds to play. West Virginia with road wins already this year at Kansas and Kansas State. Trying to add Iowa State to the list. And what a job bouncing back after a home loss to Texas Tech the other night, 71-65, which they felt one got away from them. And for Iowa State, looking at their third straight loss as Williams' 3 goes off the mark, and a foul going to be called on Polk. As we'll come down to the other end to shoot free throws here for West Virginia. For Iowa State, it's on the road. Coming up, travel for 2 on the road to Colorado and then to Stillwater, Oklahoma next weekend to take on Oklahoma State. As Wheeler, this is the free throw there so far today, 24 points. So you see Iowa State's upcoming schedule. They try to get healthy too, and that's tough to do in the Big 12 Conference.
The season goes so fast once you get to the new year.
Williams jumper off the mark. And West Virginia will slowly bring it up here with Jordan Harrison. What a day for Harrison and Wheeler. Harrison with 19 points, 8 assists for Harrison. And Kara Wheeler with 25 at the moment. And now a charge, going to be player control foul called against Harrison. And Iowa State will have it back with 20 seconds to play. Here's Jada Williams, looks to drive, the kick out to Harris, and Woodley with the steal. And that'll end it as West Virginia comes on the road and knocks off Iowa State by 13 as they win it 83-70.